Eroica is a classic shoujo manga, set in Europe against a Cold War backdrop. Its plots are complex and suspenseful, usually revolving around spies scrambling to liberate microfilms, dashing about in the ways of James Bond, pitting the Western and the Eastern Bloc against each other. The espionage vicissitudes are complemented by high-end international art thefts, echoing classic films such as The Italian Job and To Catch a Thief. Eroica is quite homo-romantic, along the lines of classic shoujo manga from the 1970s. But it also has a hefty dose of slapstick comedy and absurdist humour. Eroica's protagonist is Dorian Red, the Earl of Gloria. Dorian is a vapid English aristocrat by day, and daring international art thief Eroica by night. And he's flamboyantly gay 24/7. Dorian loves beautiful art and beautiful young men, and has a passion for clothes. Dorian's wardrobe ranges from amazing to unfortunate. He's dashing and very good at his thieving job. He leads a faithful band of thieves who adore him and are a sort of family. Some of Dorian's stunts include stealing the Pope and saving world peace, literally, together with the series' other protagonist, Klaus. Klaus von dem Eberbach is a high-born German major working for NATO intelligence, in other words, a spy. Klaus is buttoned up, choleric, homophobic, and un-PC. Well, it was the 70s. He's a badass. He's totally absorbed in his job. But he loves the aesthetic beauty of tanks and well-oiled machines. And he doesn't know it, but he is sexy. Klaus commands a team of 26 underlings, named after the letters of the alphabet. The most notable alphabets include A, the senior member of the unit, and Z, the baby, a nice German boy. One of the 26 alphabets, G, we would today call a trans woman, but is called a cross-dresser in the manga. Again, it was the 70s. Klaus's way of telling his team, "I like you, well done," is to yell at them. Actually, everything Klaus feels comes out as yelling at people, or pointing a gun at them. And this is just what he does to his allies. His enemies, such as KGB officer Misha the Cub, get a much worse deal. Eroica's team includes a couple of fully fleshed out characters, one of whom is Mr. James. James is Dorian's accountant, and one of the main members of the Eroica thieving team. He's in love with Dorian, who can be quite callous about it, but at the same time, affectionate and protective. It is implied that they had an affair in the past, but now they don't do it anymore. to James's chagrin. Eccentric to start with, he became a caricature. We see him being absurdly greedy and stingy, diving into skips, keeping pet rats, constantly nagging Dorian about wasting money. Words fail. Bonham is another fully fleshed out character. He is the trusted second in command to the Eroica thieving gang. He is often in charge of operations, where he displays competence and inventiveness. Mostly. He is the sanest character of the lot, which means he must have infinite patience. Initially, we see other gang members, but they progressively disappear, leaving Bonham and James to represent the Eroica team. Eroica is well known for its clever and intricate plots, mixing Cold War espionage and international thievery. More often than not, Dorian's thefts and Klaus's missions collide. They are cast as frenemies, especially in the early volumes of the manga. It's collaboration with an edge, until their purposes cross. At which point, sparks fly. However, Dorian falls in love with Klaus. And despite Klaus's obvious displeasure, Dorian begins a stubborn, aggressive pursuit of the repressed, buttoned-up Major. To this day, Dorian's pursuit remains unsuccessful. But it's obvious that Klaus does protest too much. Eroica is often light-hearted and funny, but it also has a sizable romantic shonen ai streak, especially in the early episodes. Eroica's original title is Eroica Yori Aoike and is authored by Yasuko Aoike. She started publishing the series in 1976. Eroica's been translated into English, not once, but twice. Fans have been scanlating it from the beginning, and they're still at work today. American imprint CMX produced a commercial translation, but they stopped publication after the first 15 volumes. To learn more about Eroica, you can refer to fanlore, or look for it on Tumblr, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, and on the Eroica mailing list on groups.io. Most stories are now on the AO3, but you can still find early online fanfiction archives. And fan art. And now we've come to the end of this introduction to Eroica. Until we meet again, from Eroica, with love.